Hey guys, what is up? My name is Megan and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. Welcome to today's video where we will be talking about 2024 anticipated releases. Now, some of these I have pre-ordered, some of them are just things I'm looking out for, obviously because this list is pretty extensive. I haven't pre-ordered every single thing on here. This list contains middle grade, romance, fantasy, a little bit of thrillers or other book genres as well, but my primary reading is mostly middle grade, romance, and some fantasy, so that's what I keep an eye out for. Also, this does not really include anything indie published because indie publishing does not work the same way as traditionally published books. The time frame and the advertising for these books don't work the same way, so I will let you know in upcoming vlogs and other videos when indie published stuff I'm anticipating comes out, but for the moment we're mostly talking traditionally published books. I will go in order of month and yeah, grab a cup of tea, of coffee, drink of choice, a snack, because this might be a long one considering there's about 50 books I'm going to talk about. And without further ado, let's hop on in. Starting off with January, on January 2nd, there are two books I am anticipating. One of them is Stay With My Heart by the author of Counting Down With You, which was one of my ultimate favorite YA contemporaries. This is, I believe, her third release, and I just pick up anything this author writes. I don't read a lot of YA anymore, but will continue to do so just for her books because I think they are amazing. So I definitely have that on my radar. And the second book that comes out on January 2nd is A Fragile Enchantment. This is going to be in a lot of book subscription boxes, so I have not pre-ordered a copy, but I know it's coming. I'm really excited. It feels very like fairy tale-esque. There's like fashion involved. It feels like a very cozy, beautiful fantasy, and I've been hearing raving reviews from everybody who's gotten early copies. Everybody's really excited about the fact that these will be in subscription boxes. If you want to know which, leave a comment down below. I can spoil those for you, but just know I'm excited for this one, excited to have them in my subscription boxes, and it's actually one of my most anticipated fantasies of the entire year. I'm sorry if it wasn't clear. I'm not going to go through every single synopsis in full because obviously we'd be here for hours. That's not the point of this. It's just if you guys have the same reading taste or want more books on your radar to check out, this is the purpose of this video. On the 9th, we have the long-awaited next installment in the Every Heart a Doorway series. This, I believe, is the 9th book. It is called Mislaid in Parts Half Known. Love the cover. If you're up to date with the series, obviously you will most likely know about this. If you don't know what the series is about, it is following a bunch of children who have gone to different worlds where they fit in really nicely compared to how they do in our world, and for some reason or another they have been thrown back into the regular world and they have to adapt. We follow a school for those children, and throughout the little novels we meet some of them, we go into their worlds, we get to know more about all these different environments and children, and it is spectacular. It tackles a lot of different topics. I am in love with this series. I am not up to date, however, but if you are, just know the 9th is the next installment. On the 16th of January, we actually have a collector's edition coming out for Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I, for one, have pre-ordered this already. It is a beautiful collector's edition. If you are like me and you love Percy Jackson, maybe you have not heard about this. I just found it while I was scrolling through a lot of online books, and I'm incredibly excited for this. I want to collect everything Percy Jackson, so definitely have that one on my list. On the 18th of January, we have two releases, one of them being The Mystery Guest, which is, I believe, either a direct continuation or a companion novel to The Maid by Nina Prose. There is a Waterstones exclusive edition for that book. I have pre-ordered it. So yeah, this is like more of a cozy mystery vibe of a book. The Maid was super popular when it released. Either was it in 2022? I don't even remember. 2022, 2023. one of them, but it has been talked about countless times and it's just a fan favorite. So there is another book in this series coming out, and the other book is also a big anticipated release for fantasy girlies, and it is the second book in the Emily Wilde series, which is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. Again, the UK cover and the US are very different, so depending what you collect, or if you collect them all, just know that they're not the same. I have also pre-ordered my copy of this one, and I'm hoping to also get the Fairy Loot exclusive edition, which was announced, but I know it's going to be a bloodbath, so we shall see. But again, a sequel to this wonderfully cozy fantasy. On the 25th, there is a book that is kind of being re-released, and that is the Waterstones exclusive edition of Fourth Wing. Unfortunately, this has sold out, but I am highly anticipating getting my copy of that. I was not able to get Iron Flame, but that's fine. But if you were not aware, maybe check back the website regularly in case they come out with more exclusive editions. We never know. But yes, it is coming out on the 25th, I believe. Going back, because I messed up 2 dates somehow, on the 23rd we have 2 releases. One of them is another fantasy release, which is going to be yet again in a subscription box, and I'm very excited. Everybody is excited about this book, and it is Feybound, and this is, like, obviously by the title, a fae story by a very well-known author, and I'm very excited to see what happens with this book, how much hype there's going to be around it, because people have already been really anticipating its release, and I think we are getting it actually a little bit early, as I believe it was one of the December picks for a big subscription, but it technically comes out on the 23rd of January. And the other book is The Breakup Tour by Emily Webberly and Austin Sigmund Broca. They have been extremely hit or miss for me throughout the years. I never know if I'm gonna like their book or DNF. It's literally been 5 stars or DNF. There's no in between. But this is like a celebrity sort of romance, and I eat those up. Everybody seems to be excited about this specific release by them, and I'm crossing my fingers. I'm going to love it. I'm not doing so well with traditionally published romances in the past year, but hoping this can convince me that I still like them. On the 29th of January, we have 2 young adult romantasies that are coming out. Where one is Where the Dark Stands Still. There is a Waterstone exclusive edition of this, but there is also a gorgeous American regular copy, like the cover of the US version, Chef's Kiss. And the other is Compass and Blade, which is also a romantasy that has to do with the sea itself, like water, and I for one love anything to do with water, so I'm incredibly excited for this one. Again, there is a Waterstones exclusive edition available for this one. I have a gut feeling that that one is going to like hit the spot for me. It's compared to Fable by Adrienne Young and To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, which unfortunately are 2 books I did not love. One of them I DNF'd and the other I gave like 3 stars, but I'm still hopeful. I'm crossing my fingers that this is the one. On the 30th, we have another fantasy book that will be in a book subscription box. It is called The City of Stardust, and it is described as a lush, magical world full of stardust and monsters. It is a contemporary fantasy, and I don't know if there's like dark academia vibes. It kind of sounds like it. We're talking about scholars, and there's gods, monsters, there's a whole shebang. I really think this is going to be a fan favorite for the early part of 2024. I feel like we're going to hear about this book a lot. Moving into February, on February 2nd, there is one of my most anticipated middle grade books, and it is Paper Dragons. Once again, I found this book scrolling through Waterstones. There is a Waterstones exclusive for this one. It just sounds like the middle grade fantasy I eat up. So if you are like me, I'm sure this one is going to be for you. On the 6th of February, we have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Afterlight has announced that they will be doing an exclusive edition of this one as well. This is kind of like a paranormal romance. It has to do with, I think it's vampires and werewolves. I'm very excited to see how this is going to work for Ali Hazelwood, her branching out. Very excited. I trust her with my life, so I think this one is going to be very fun. On the 13th, we have two books I'm excited for. One is The Catch. It is like the third book in this series of companion novels, and this is what I hoped, well, I'm hoping is what I thought the Tessa Bailey books, like It Happened One Summer, what I wanted it to be. I'm hoping The Catch will be that. That was not clear at all, but if you know, you know. I despised It Happened One Summer, and I have been looking for something to like replace my expectations for that book, and I have a feeling The Catch is what will do the job. So I'm incredibly excited for this one. Also, love the cover. And another fantasy release that is coming out on the 13th is one I learned about through TikTok. I've never heard of this book before. It is called Call of the Sea by Emily B. Rose. This again sounds kind of like piratey, water themed, and I'm here for it. On the 20th, we have A Tempest of Tea. Again, incredibly excited for this one. This is the kind of fantasy book that I'm like, I think I could eat this up. Again, by an author who I believe is well known. Like, I feel like I've heard her name before, but again, I'm just starting on my fantasy journey, so don't mind me if that was incorrect. But again, very beautiful cover. There is a special edition for this, I believe, on Waterstones. I was crossing my fingers that a book subscription was going to pick up this book. I'm not sure it's going to be the case from the information I have thus far, but I'm still hoping. However, on the 27th, we have Fathom Folk that is coming out, and that I'm pretty sure is being picked up because it's like one of the most anticipated releases for a lot of people throughout the year. Again, this kind of has to do with water, if I'm not mistaken, and people who live kind of like on top of like a land and it's been surrounded by water. It's like kind of like a drowned world, from what I understand, if it's the book I'm thinking about. From all the reviews I've seen, and I kind of investigated this book some more, and it sounds like it's going to be a really fun time, and I think a unique twist on what we've seen before. Moving on to March, which is my birthday month. On the 5th, we have The Sunlit Man, which is the fourth Secret Project books from Brandon Sanderson, the fourth and final book for now, I believe. It is also part of the Cosmere. I don't think I really need to explain this. You get it or you don't. On the 7th, we have The Girl Who Dreamed in Magic. This, again, I have pre-ordered from Waterstones because there's this exclusive edition. This is another middle grade fantasy that sounds really, really, really up my alley. And possibly, like all the other middle grade books I've mentioned, a possible book club pick. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. Or if I mention any other middle grade books that you think would be great middle grade book club picks, let a girl know. On the 14th, we have another one which I'm incredibly excited, and it is Pirates of the Dark Sea. Again, Waterstones exclusive, middle grade. High hopes for this. Again, pirates themed around the sea. I think this is the year I might find another ultimate favorite pirate book. They're hard to come by, unfortunately. I have only found a few that I'm like, I love this to my core, but I'm hoping this can be one of them. On the 28th, there are two books releasing. One is the third and I believe final book in the Fireborn trilogy from Aisling Fowler. If you have not seen my review for Fireborn, the first book, I will leave it in the cards or description for you guys. This is a series that I really love. It's a middle grade series that has kind of like a medieval vibe to it. It's unlike any other middle grade I have read, and I am very excited to see how the author continues the story. And we also have a book that is kind of out of my wheelhouse, but I'm very excited and intrigued for. It is The Last Murder at the End of the World by an author I've tried before but have not really loved. But I have a feeling that the concepts of his book is usually what doesn't grab me as much, but this one has a solid chance to kind of hook me, and I hope I really like these. These are like very peculiar mysteries. At least that's usually what he writes. He wrote the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle and another book that I don't remember. Again, Waterstones exclusive is available for this one. Moving on to April, which is always the month of the year that all the releases come out. I am so freaking excited for the month of April. And when I say excited, I literally mean like every single book on here I need. The first two books I'm going to talk about come out on the 2nd. The first one is The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. This is a companion novel to The Cheat Sheet. If you know me, you know I love The Cheat Sheet. It's what got me into Sarah Adams, and I have been anticipating this book for like a year now, ever since she first teased that there might be a companion novel. I was like, sign me up please. And another is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I have tried this author once with her debut novel. It was a pretty controversial one. A lot of people did not like that, but since then it's very apparent that she has grown and that she has created this huge community of readers. And this specific book is based on a story that was told on TikTok about a couple's relationship and how they met. She even sent them arcs of the books, and I think this is the one that's going to convert me into an Abby Jimenez fan. Also, cover is stunning, and that does not hurt. On the 4th of April, we have 3 releases. One of them is Peregrine Quinn and the Cosmic Realm. There is a Waterstones edition, I believe, or at least I don't think there is, but I know I pre-ordered it already from Waterstones. So much confusion. This is a middle grade book that also has intense potential to be one of my favorites of the year. It reminds me of all my favorite like Amari, Nevermore, just Skandar, the whole shebang. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful blend of everything I love in a middle grade book, and I think this one is going to be highly pushed and talked about in the upcoming months. I think this is going to be a big hit for middle grade. We also have the reappearance of Rachel Prince. There are 2 Waterstones exclusive for these, one of them with black sprayed edges and the other one has red sprayed edges. This is from the author of A Girl's Guide to Murder series, from that other book she published this year as well. This is another young adult mystery. And the last book that releases on the 4th is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. Again, I decided to get the Waterstones not edition, but I got the UK copy, so I pre-ordered from Waterstones because I think the cover for the UK is so much more beautiful, although both of them are gorgeous. It sounds like a cozy fantasy. It's witchy, magical innkeeping. It sounds like all the fantasy girlies are gonna love this one. On the 9th, we have a book releasing from Elsie Silver, which is her newest in a series. Like, she's starting a new series. She's starting fresh. It's called A Wild Love. The cover was recently announced, and it is the first in the Rose Hill book series. This is a single father romance. It's also kind of cowboy-esque. She's not really moving away from that just yet, and everybody has been very excited for this, myself included. There is a chance one of the book subscriptions I am subscribed to will be doing this as a special editions. I'm crossing my fingers it is actually gonna happen, but the evidence points to it actually being a thing. Again, let me know if you want more information on that. On the 25th, we have my 2 most anticipated books of the year, period. I'm so excited. One of them is Funny Story by the queen herself, Emily Henry. I'm repping my Emily Henry merch today for Happy Place. I'm so excited for this. I got the Waterstones exclusive edition pre-ordered the minute it dropped. And the other is Skandar and the Chaos Trials, which is book 3 in the Skandar series. Again, I have a review for Skandar that did a lot better than I thought it would on my channel. I will leave it in the cards for you guys. I know booksellers in the UK have been getting arcs, which are the only people for now who are getting arcs, but she's going to have a few of them available to win in giveaways and such in the new year. I'm crossing my fingers I'm able to get an early copy of that book. It's definitely my most anticipated, like, no questions asked. If you know me, you know, like, I have Skandar tattooed in my heart. Moving on to the month of May, we have on the 7th 3 releases, one of them being Sweet Vengeance. This is a Crave spin-off, so if you have not read the series, I'm assuming you could still read it, but you'll get more context clues if you read the entire Crave series. We also have Can't Spell Treason Without T, which is like a cozy fantasy. There is a first print run for that one with exclusive like sprayed edges, and Lore Olympus Volume 6. On the 9th, we have Ember Spark and the Thunder of Dragons that I have also pre-ordered. This is, yet again, a middle grade book that sounds fantastic. Love the cover for this one. On the 14th, we have a romance that I don't know how I'm gonna feel about. It is The Paradise Problem, and I have loved The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This I thought was gonna have similar vibes based on the cover. However, when you read the actual synopses, it's very far away from The Unhoneymooners. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel. The cover is stunning though. And on the 23rd of May, we have the second book in the Green Wild series, which is another middle grade series that I have technically started. I haven't finished Green Wild 1 yet, but I'm enjoying it so far. The first book was beautiful. The Waterstones exclusive is gorgeous. I was hoping they would do one for the second. It doesn't seem like it's happening, but that's fine. Just know, if you're a Green Wild fan, the second book is coming your way on the 23rd of May. Moving on to June. On the 11th, we have Not in Love by the queen herself. Again, I have two queens, Emily Henry and Ali Hazelwood. I am a basic bitch. Technically, her book comes out in June. It is the next book in her STEMinist series. Also, the lighting is starting to be a little bit sketchy. Don't mind it. It's called A Canadian Winter. Thank you. And on the 25th of June, we have Tangled Up in You, which is a Tangled retelling with the Disney Hyperion books that they've been putting out every year. This is again by Christina Lauren. Blanked on their name. I have high hopes for this. If this one, this one cannot fail me. I'm so excited for this one. Moving on to July, on July 2nd, there is a special edition of Pen Pal, which is being released. You can purchase it on Amazon. It's going to have special edges and all those kinds of things. I'm very interested in that romance, so I will definitely be picking up that edition specifically. On the 4th, we have a anticipated release for a lot of fellow romantasy girlies, Reckless by the author of Powerless. It's sequel. Powerless kind of just took off. It's told to be a blend between Hunger Games and Red Queen, and apparently it's really bingeable, and all the girlies are very excited for the next book in the series. So it's kind of gonna be a while considering July is far away, but it's gonna come fast. 4th of July. On the 7th, we have yet another of my most anticipated books, and that is Amari and the Ninth Brothers. Again, I have pre-ordered this copy from Waterstones forever ago. I don't know if it's going to have sprayed edges like the second book did, but I'm crossing my fingers it will. If you don't know, Amari and the Ninth Brothers, the first book was my favorite book of, I believe, 2020. I am in love with the series. The author himself is a amazing man. He's doing a lot for children and libraries and accessibility of reading, and his series is amazing. Amari is great. I love that this man and his books exist. On the 9th, we have two books, one of them being The Half King, which is a fantasy, I think it's a fantasy romance, and The Spell Shop, which I don't know if both of them, yes, both of them have limited edition first print runs with sprayed edges. It's becoming a thing. It's the new market. I'm really excited for The Spell Shop. It's another cozy fantasy, which again are making the rounds. I think are becoming more popular. So those two, if you want the first print with the edges, don't forget to pre-order. On August 1st, we have The Grandest Game, which is the next book in the Inheritance Games Hawthorne Brothers series. This is book 5, but the second book in another companion series. If you are up to date, you're up to date. If not, start with the Inheritance Games trilogy and move on from there. Waterstones has an exclusive edition of this one. On the 6th of August, we have Lady Macbeth from Ava Reid, who is the author of A Study in Drowning. She is retelling the story of Macbeth, which the synopsis for that one sounds amazing. I'm so excited for that. And on the 13th of August, we have The Breakup Pact, which again, not a lot of traditionally published romances are interesting to me. This one, however, speaks to my soul and I'm really excited for it, and I hope it's a really good one. A lot of people are anticipating this one as well, so I think it's going to be a popular one in the upcoming year. Moving on to the last month where I have books, which is September. On the 3rd, there are 2 books coming out. One of them is The Life Impossible by Matt Haig. If you know me, you would know I am incredibly excited for anything Matt Haig. He is one of my favorite authors ever since I read The Midnight Library and The Humans. Those 2 books have resonated with me in an incredible way, and so I'm extremely excited for this one. I don't believe it has a cover yet, but excited nonetheless. And we also have on the 10th Somewhere Beyond the Sea. This is by TJ Klune. Again, it has a special edition, a limited first print run sprayed edges shebang. They're going to be orange, and this is a companion to The House in the Cerulean Sea. That's all I know about this one. And the last book on my list, which better release in 2024 or I swear to God I am going to riot, is Silverborn, the 4th book in the Nevermore series. I have pre-ordered this book like 3 years ago on Waterstones. It keeps getting pushed back, but I am hopeful that we will get it in 2024. However, the author is still kind of MIA, so who knows at this point. Those are all the books I am anticipating. Obviously, I missed a whole bunch of them, but these are the ones I kind of zeroed in on. Man, I kind of look white or blue. I look sickly at this point. I am so sorry, but I hope this was helpful for you. If you read any of the genres I read, if you're looking to get up to date on those releases, again, I will have a part 2 to this video, most likely in June, to talk about books that are going to release in this latter part of the year, as there are not as many that are announced now. If you think I missed any that I would particularly like, please let me know in the comments. If you have any of these books that you want my opinions on, or if you want a book club pick, also let me know. If not, I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye guys, happy reading.